I'm a conformist to non-conforming, and I highly recommend it. Like, you know, most other talk show hosts work in a studio and are on TV and get paid. Not me. I don't need to do that. I say that's overrated, because when I say that, it makes me feel better. But my point is, if everyone is doing something, for some reason, I have to do something else. And it's just the way it is. Like 10 years ago, everybody was listening to Radiohead. All my friends were like, you gotta listen to this. This is fantastic. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get into it. Because everybody's into it. And I'm not gonna get into it. That's how I sounded 10 years ago. I've been through a lot of vocal therapy. And now I sound like this. But then about 4 years ago, seriously, I secretly downloaded some of Radiohead's music. And I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Why didn't anybody tell me about this? And it's just for some reason how I am. But I do have somebody who can tell you about things now, and I think you should listen to her. They're not necessarily the most popular bands, but Raimi is here to tell you about some amazing people! Raimi, never leave me again.
I'll try not to.
Thank you. How was jail?
I wasn't really in jail.
What? You Twitter liar! You were in New York.
I was in New York.
How's your family?
They're wonderful.
Nice.
Yes, they're very nice people.
I give a shout out to Mona and Big Dave. So as we all know, Raimi's recommended some great musicians for us over the last few weeks. But this time I've also asked her to recommend a great artist, because I love art, my mother's an artist, and I feel like in our generation there's not enough awareness and appreciation of new art. So Raimi, what did you find?
So land in New York, go right to a silk screening party.
Because you're really cool and you go to parties and you do silk screening.
Which is great because I don't have a lot of money to spend on clothing, but what I do have is $5 to bring one of my old used t-shirts to this loft where David Hochbaum and his friends in the gold mine house do these silk screening parties. And while I was there...
Now we will have to bleep that out.
Yes.
So what she just said was gold mine poop house. Or gold mine crap castle. You know, you get it. Something like that. Something like that.
So they do these silk screening parties where you get to have an original piece of their work silk screened onto your clothes for $5.
That's so cool.
And it creates an entirely new piece for you. So that's wonderful. And his name is David Hochbaum, and he's a photo constructionist.
And he's amazing. Raimi showed me his stuff earlier today, and it blew me away. I think he's absolutely brilliant. And now musically, I asked you to think outside of your box.
We went far outside of the box this week.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, you know, everybody listens to the same kind of music, but there's lots of different music out there where sometimes they use different kinds of instruments or different layered effects with vocals. Exactly. And you found some really cool people.
Yeah, and speaking of layered effects with vocals, there's a woman based out of New York named Juliana Barwick. This is like we do with the MySpace.
/ Juliana Barwick.
Juliana Barwick. Her album is available now through her website and on eMusic, iTunes, and other music. And basically, I think if you're a fan of like Bjork, like this album has drawn lots of comparisons to Medulla, and
that was Bjork's album where it was just vocals, right?
Just vocals.
That's really
and
cool.
So Juliana Barwick, what she does is it's just a 4-track with her vocals, and she loops them over and over again. She recreates the same thing on stage, and it's kind of incredible to watch. Dominique Leone was a music critic for many years, and he finally is taking his stab at making music instead of criticizing it. And so I think...
Wait a minute, he was thinking outside of his box.
He's thinking outside of his box. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And actually, this album is pretty intense. It's kind of like you're, you know, tripping on acid in the right section of Harry Nilsson's
My arms
brain.
are getting tired.
But I think that if you're a fan of Deer Hunter and Animal Collective, you really enjoy him. And,
Deer Hunter the movie?
Deer Hunter the band, which...
Totally.
Fantastic band out of...
Other favorite bands of mine, Silence of the Lambs. Sophie's Choice. And The Breakfast Club.
So those are our picks for this week, and I hope you enjoy getting outside of your box.
Thank you, Raimi. I'm so incredibly thrilled to bring this person to my kitchen table. She's an old friend. She's on one of the highest rated shows on TV. I don't know why she's here. It's like people don't watch the show and see what I do. And then they're like, okay, I'll come on your show. And then later they're like, why did I do it? Anyway, she's beautiful, she's talented, she's brilliant. Bring her to the kitchen table, Emily Deschanel! Emily Deschanel!
You pronounced it correctly.
Did I really?
Yes.
Oh my god, because I was going to say, now, I bet a lot of people don't realize this, we are really old friends.
Yes.
If you were wondering how I possibly got this amazing person to come sit at my kitchen table, yes it is. We're old friends. We've been friends for 13 years, and I was going to say, how do you say your last name?
Deschanel.
Deschanel.
Yeah.
Deschanel.
Yeah.
It's not Deschanel.
No, Deschanel.
Deschanel. I like how you say your last name. I like Deschanel. Like you put a little, like, I'm going to go, everyone from now on, I'm going to be Liz Feldman. Liz Feldman, like that.
I will refer to you always as Liz Feldman.
Thank you so much. And don't be afraid to speak up, because I can't afford microphones.
Okay, yes, I will. I have no problem.
And I know
went
you
to theater school.
I know you went to theater school because we went to college together.
Yes, we did.
You studied acting. I
Yes.
studied actresses. You took mostly acting classes and theater classes, but you seem like a smart person. Did you take any real classes?
I took a couple. I took English dance and drama one semester. We had to be in public. And we had to dance with bells on our feet and use swords, and it was
It was like that was a class in the humiliation department.
Yes, I think that's what it was. It was challenging how much you could handle humility.
Yeah, and I think you actually are a very humble person.
Oh, thank you.
Did you just misuse a word?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Like, let's go back and fix it, but okay.
Because I really I think of you as a very smart person. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
And obviously you play a very smart person on TV, but
Yes.
I wanted to say you're not only smart, you're also super hot. And here's the thing.
Thank you.
Did you know that you are on this year's After Ellen Hot 100 list?
All right.
How about that?
I'll take it.
Would you like to guess what number you are on the Hot 100 list? Because I know the answer.
100.
No! Guess again. Guess what number you're. It's a good one. It's a good number. It's a good one. I like it.
69.
Yes! 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 Number 69.
It had to be when you said it was a good number.
Why?
Of course.
Why did you think it was 69?
Because, I mean, how many numbers have, connotations to them?
What's the connotation?
Don't pretend like you don't know.
I don't know. 69 seems like two perfectly interesting, totally
They fit together really nicely, don't they?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think I'm going to need you to explain it to me. In my ear. Just tell me in my ear. What does it mean? I don't know. I don't know what it means. What does it mean? Oh, that is bones. One thing about your show that is really educating is that it takes place at the FBI, right?
Yes, and the Jeffersonian, which is a fictional place that's like the Smithsonian.
Oh, okay. You are an FBI person, right?
No.
Oh, you're not
I'm
an
on
FBI person.
loan to the FBI, so it seems like it, and I go with him on the cases. I act like I'm FBI because I just have chutzpah.
Are you trying to use Yiddish words to get on the good side?
I am. I'm trying to misuse as many words as possible.
It's working. What I love about your show is that there are all these brilliant people, and I guess to work at the Jeffersonian or the FBI, you have to be under 30.
Yep.
And attractive.
Yes, you pretty much do. Or at least look under 30.
There is a doctor on your show who looks so young that I swear he could be a fetus. It's like he's so young, his arms aren't even completely.
You're talking about Eric Milligan, Zach.